What is going on, guys? Welcome back. Some commentary for you. I have a lot of people ask me this question. I don't believe I've ever answered in a video, but I wanted to come out today and do it. What is my favorite, or what are my favorite Maddens? And I think when I go back and try to figure out what made Madden's past great, a lot of it really boils down to what I don't like about current Madden. So one of my favorite Maddens, if not my favorite, was Madden 05. The reason being, I think if you look at that being the last game on that console generation, there certainly was a lot of refinement to that title before we went to Madden 06 Next Gen, which was a very basic game. I think Madden 05's franchise mode was about as clean as it could be. I mean, don't get me wrong, it still had problems. Every Madden's franchise has had problems, but I feel like Madden 05 was the most refined. I also feel like when you talk about the player control in that game specifically, it was kind of getting to the point where we weren't seeing these elongated animations play out. Now, the interesting thing about that is if you play the game today, it looks to a degree more smooth. It would appear from EA, they tell us that we have more user control because we have more animations. So to them, a larger animation library must equate to better player control. But to us as the user, at least in my opinion, when I play the game, sure, when I move the player, maybe it's a little bit quirky because the player has to react to my user input, not through an animation, but from moving on the field. I felt like Madden 2005 didn't have that smoothness that we see today because of all the animations, but did give us pristine user control, even at the sake of maybe sacrificing some visual quality. Now, with that said, Madden 25 is my other game, and I know a lot of people will say, well, that's just sentimental value because you went to EA for that one. But no, I think when we go back and we talk about, what are the things I liked in Madden 05, I think the first thing we have to talk about user control. To me, user control makes a game. If you're going to play a game, you're playing a game to have an experience, and if you can't actually control that experience, then why would you be playing? And to me, Madden 25 was really the first year we saw True Step come into play. And I don't know that they've ever officially came and taken True Step out. I don't know if it's something that's actually, as they labeled it, a technology that we maybe can have compatible with Frostbite as opposed to the Infinity Engine. But that game, to me, almost had the best user control that we had seen outside of a 2K game. The footsteps, the foot planning, everything that they even focused on with those trailers was so critical to the user having control of the player, but also kind of distinguishing between players. That was really one of the last times I can remember, you ran with a tight end, or you ran with a power back, or you ran with a shifty elusive back, and you could really tell the difference because of the way the foot planning and because of the way the players had to move. And you really don't see that today. A lot of times you could play Madden, and if you didn't know who the player was supposed to be, you wouldn't know who the player was. It wouldn't make a distinguishable difference to say, okay, I'm playing as Niles Paul versus I'm playing as Delaney Walker versus I'm playing as DeMarco Murray. All the players in the open field seem to kind of move the same, and the defense seem to react to them the same. So it's strange that as we, again, have these expanded libraries of animations that we get told ultimately have us more options as a gamer to play, more button combinations to select those animations, I feel like we've lost touch of the basis of what we should be doing in a game, which is controlling players. I showed a video a couple days ago. Obviously two players went to tackle each other in Madden Challenge. They ran right past each other because there's no animation. If you're going to tell me that I have more user control now, when players can completely go past each other from offensive and defensive standpoints without even a tackle being attempted because there wasn't an animation there, I don't know how you can tell me I didn't have a better experience in Madden 05 and Madden 25 when I could just run two players together, and sure, maybe they collided and it looked horrible, but at least it ended the play. It wasn't so dependent on a physics-based or a animation-based tackle starting, which Madden right now seems to kind of go for that middle ground of, it tells us it's physics-based tackling, but we can visually see that it is animation-based. So I hope in a way that answers some of your questions as to what I feel about current Maddens, if I haven't shown you that in past videos before, but also what I liked about other Maddens, and maybe if you want to go play one of the Maddens that I enjoyed the most, which one you would go pick out. So again, I would say Madden 25 would probably be my favorite, but for franchise, Madden 05 would actually take the #1 spot. Love to know what you guys think about this and those games. I appreciate you watching this video, and I'll be back in the week with more commentary.